So SCR just released their version 2.3 update, which included the addition of one of SCR's most unique branch lines to date, the Tram-Train branch on Metro. This branch, along with the update, introduced quite a few new features into the game, including battery operations, tram infrastructure, and traffic lights? Yeah, that one's kinda weird. Anyways, in this video, we're gonna be taking a closer look at this new Tram-Train extension, at the good, the bad, and the ugly. To be honest, it seems as if SCR actually understands what a tram line is. While most previous extensions seem to have been rushed, this isn't really the case with this new tram line, or at least that's how it seems so far. Throughout the line, there are distinct signals and speed limit signs, those you would usually see on a tram line in the UK. The tracks also don't run on ballast here. They run either on the road, some type of concrete, or on my favorite, the grass. It's good to see that the devs actually bothered to make tram-specific infrastructure rather than just copying and pasting everything from the mainline railway. The same can be said for the stations. While they're not anything special and can even seem bland at times, they are quite fitting for a tram line. They have everything you would expect for tram stops: ramps at the ends of the platforms, some ticketing machines, card validators, small canopies, and of course, passenger info displays. Now, this might be a little more specific, but it's also interesting how SCR decided to divert the branch onto mainline rail for a little around greenslade. It might seem pointless, but this diversion does actually serve a purpose, as it lets Tram-Train short turn there instead of doing the entire route to Whitney Green. I also have to say that the scenery around all the stations is pretty decent. While it certainly is distinguishable between the real world, the scenery around the line is quite nice and fitting for a branch like this. Now, let's talk about the train that actually runs on this line. While things do become redundant when there is only one type of train that you can operate on the line, there isn't really any other train that would be able to work here other than the one and only Class 398. The Class 398 is quite the train, as it is able to run all mainline metro routes as well as all tram-train routes. You can basically go anywhere with this train, even if the low, but accurate, top speed leaves more to be desired. Though, on the other hand, the detail of this train does not leave too much to be desired. You can see that whoever made this at least gave half a shit, with the exterior being one of the most detailed in SCR. The interior is also decent, though definitely not on the level of the exterior of the train. The cab is also quite nice too though. The horn sound and the bell sound are also good enough. Not the best, but decent. It is also interesting how the horn automatically changes into a bell as you enter the tram line and vice versa. Though the most interesting characteristic of the train is actually a part of the driving UI itself, which is this thing right here. When you enable battery mode, this meter, aka your battery percentage, decreases as you drive. To make it go up, or to charge your battery, you have to switch your train back into electric mode by raising your pantograph, where there is overhead catenary of course. And as you make your way through an electrified area, your battery charges by drawing power from the wires. Now that is something I never expected to see from SCR, in a good way. Unfortunately though, there are some other things that I may or may not have expected to see from SCR, and that is not in a good way. If I were to be completely honest with you guys, there isn't really much to hate on here, though I do think that there are two main things that could use some work. Firstly, I must say that the route selection definitely needs to be improved. Not everyone that drives to Greenslade or Whitney Green would want to drive a 20-minute drive all the way back to Stepford City. Most of us, in fact, would prefer something shorter, either to Barton or St. Helens Bridge. A route such as Barton or Whitney Green would really help players that are trying to earn points quickly, as the short stop spacings on the tram line would make it so players could earn points quickly without having to drive between the same 2 or 3 stations over and over again. Another route that would be nice to have would be an SHB to Greenslade route, as that would let players get the full tram-train experience without spending 20 minutes or more of their time. Speaking of routes, I also believe that a set of sidings, preferably around Greenslade, could help with accessing these routes as well as the branch line in a shorter period of time, so people don't have to drive all the way from Bowden Depot and clog up the Barton Loop just to access the new tram-train branch. Other than that though, there are only a few personal nitpicks that I have with the line that I guess I'll still mention because why the hell not? First of all, I personally think that the part of the line between Greenslade and Whitney Green should just be unelectrified, as I'm not the biggest fan of having mainline style catenary right on the sidewalk here. Though Whitney Green should stay electrified so the Class 398s can actually charge there and not just die on the way back to Greenslade. And also, why do the traffic lights never change color? Even though I'm not expecting SCR to add AI traffic or cars or anything like that, it would still be interesting if the traffic lights sometimes turn green at the intersections and let the traffic go. And although I'm not the biggest fan of waiting at a danger signal, it would be more realistic for the traffic lights to actually do their job for once. Though, if I'm going to be completely honest right now, these are really just some annoying little things that I'm not really the biggest fan of when it comes to this new extension. Meanwhile, there are some other things about this extension that are just absolutely insufferable. The main issues, or as I could say, ugly parts with this extension are coincidentally both located on the western end. While berrily itself is not horrendous, the interlocking to the west of it definitely is. I have to ask, who the f thought that a junction like this would be a smart idea? Imagine the pain that a signaler gets every time a train has to go through this spaghetti show of an interlocking, as this thing is basically multiple junctions in one. These devs really just decided to throw all these switches together and think nothing of it. Oh well. And while this looks terrible, it also functions terribly as well, as if you have any train that is entering or exiting either the tunnel portal or the terminating tracks at berrily, the entire interlocking is blocked off to all other trains, including tram-trains coming from the new extension. So basically, whenever anything that isn't a 398 shows up, the entire interlocking essentially comes to a halt. Now, how can this be fixed? I don't know. Just spam some flying junctions and something like that and hope for the best. Additionally, while this may not directly be associated with the tram-train extension, I think that Barton definitely needs some work, as that station is definitely not large enough to handle the amount of services that run through it. Now, this wouldn't be that big of an issue if it wasn't for the fact that more than half of the trains that go to Barton terminate there, resulting in them occupying a platform for 1 to 2 minutes rather than just 30 to 40 seconds. The solution to this would simply be to add more platforms. 4 platforms in total would be optimal here, though 3 would already be a step up. But if SCR wants to keep pulling their realistic excuse, then just let them do that. As to be honest, I'm just a random guy on the internet who doesn't even know that much about Studio and who definitely does not have a right to criticize their game. But I digress, as these bills are not going to pay themselves, am I right? Guys, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe and comment and even hype the video if you would like. Also consider joining my community Discord server, because that's where, you know, I yap a lot, expose my secrets and stuff, and sometimes do fun events. And also, if you really enjoy the channel, you know, consider buying up a membership, because, you know, I could always use some of that money. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.